Right then guys, yet another video where we're super tight on time, but I'm just trying to get stuff done before I go to Gadget Show, mainly because obviously I'm going to be away for quite a while. I'm probably going to try and upload videos while I'm away, but I'm obviously not going to be able to do any like reviews of products or anything. And well, I'm actually away just at the show for 10 days, so by the time I've got back and all, yeah, it's going to be mental. So anyway, this is the white 600T from Corsair. Now, I've already reviewed the 600T, and all without the colour changes. There are a couple of minor changes. But obviously, I'm not going to do a full-on in and out, you know, cover everything. So we're just going to have a look at this. But I can tell you now that I am going to be building my rig in this, because Corsair said to me, "You were a bit harsh on the 600T last time," and kind of watching it back, I can see where they're coming from. So they knew I looked like white, and they were like, "Right, we want to send you one of these. How do you fancy actually using it for a bit?" So I've kind of agreed, yeah, I'm going to have this on my desk, and I'm going to be sat right by it. So we're going to give it a good going over. But I'm going to take you round and give you a good look so you can see all the aesthetic points of the case, and for those of you that have not seen it before, maybe some of the features as well. But in the front, as with the 650, you've got that removable front panel, which is dust filtered. If you have a look, all round the outside of the case, this is gloss black, and obviously this bit's satin, so you've got some pretty good white black contrasts. Now I happen to know, because I've been waiting for this case for a little while, that Corsair has spent a lot of time and money to make sure that all the panels, all the colours match, and that the plastic doesn't yellow with time. They have spent quite a bit of time making sure this is right. I quite like the fact that it is just so black and white, and they've not tried to make everything white. They've actually gone with a bit of contrast, because the internals are still black. But the gloss black touches are really nice as well. We come up onto the roof, you can see you still, you know, you've got white. I'm kind of hoping that lights up, but we are yet to find out. I'm not sure whether it does or it doesn't. 4 USBs, audio, firewire, USB 3, hard drive light, power reset, lovely jubbly, large mesh panel on the top, which you can remove. Now there is just enough room to get a normal fan thickness in the roof, and Corsair do say that you can use this for water cooling. I'll show you on the inside in a minute. It's not really enough room, and this was one of the things I picked up on with the last case. Something that I did pick up on with the last case as well was the fact the fans didn't really do a lot. They were 800 RPM. They've now changed them, and they've changed the design of the fans ever so slightly as well. They now spin at 1000 RPM. They move quite a bit, you know, they are moving more air as well, which is, you know, one of the things that was one of my bugbears. But they're not louder, or at least not significantly louder I can remember anyway. So that's a good point. So, you know, Corsair are listening to us moany reviewers, because that's pretty much what a lot of people think I am lately. Now, around the back, you can see that the first look of the black internals. You've still got the grommets. Remember, this is pretty much the same inside as this, well, it is the same inside as the 650D, because they share the same internal parts. So you can look at my original 600T review, or you can go and watch the 650D review. I'm just going to slide my light down a bit to give me a bit more light inside the case. Now, these hard drive cages, you can remove them all. You can just remove the top one. You can have take that top one out and move it down here, because there are mounts in here. Again, light fail, because I'm trying to rush, but you can see there are mounts in the bottom, so you can move the cage if you so wish. As I've already said, the fans have been uprated, and they're now 1000 RPM. We've still got a black fan at the back, even if it didn't light up, I'd still like to see a white crystal fan at the back, just for so it matched. That's just, you know, my personal kind of niggly view. But you can buy them cheap enough anyway. They're only a £5, so you know what I mean, you could grab one if you wanted. Like I said, now you've got a window in the side, which I should add actually. You can swap with this, and it comes with it as well. It's not an extra option. It comes with both. You can swap it out for a mesh panel that you can mount 4 120mm fans to. So Corsair really did listen when we said we were a bit disappointed with the airflow, considering it was meant to be an air case or aimed at an air user. So yeah, they really did listen to us. So maybe this moany old reviewer wasn't so far off the mark after all. I've got an E80X case in here. I've not said anything about it yet, but anyway, I've got an E80X case in here, so you can see this is a where's the label? I need to look. Oh, there it is. It's a Rampage 3 Extreme, so you can see that with the E80X it does kind of come over the sides, but there's still enough room to be able to get your cables through. If you were to use this with a Rampage, then I reckon if you put your 24-pin power cable through first, you'd still be able to get it round the motherboard and everything alright, so that would be alright. Or you can use the second set of grommets. Right, now if we come up to the roof quickly, you can see that you've got the fan on the inside with this. You can fit the 120s on the outside if you wish, but there really isn't a great deal of room for a rad. They say it's water cooling compatible, but I've measured from the roof to the top of the ram, and you can, there's just about 30mm there, and the way it would be located, the radiator would touch the ram if you went bigger. Now 30mm is not a massive thickness for the radiator, so yet again I'm going to say it again because I'm not going to back down from what I said before. It's not really that great for water cooling, as in a dedicated loop. If you had a 25 or a 30mm rad, it would only be good for the CPU or your GPU. You'd never want to run both off of it without modding. But if you were going to go water cooling with this sort of size case, I'd really suggest that rather than getting the 600T, you went with the 650, because the 650 has been designed specifically with an extra gap in the roof, and you can get a much thicker radiator in the 650. So the way to think about it is the 600T is for air, and the 650 you can use for air, but it's also a little bit friendlier for water cooling. As you can see, I've got a HX850 in the bottom, and you can see you've got loads of room for that. But if you were going to have a bigger power supply, you've still got gallons of room there. If you were going to go with something like the HX1000 or the AX1200 watt, it would be significantly bigger, and you would probably get, you'd still be able to get all your cables out the back fine, but it would be very tight if you were to put your one of your hard drive cages down below. Would still fit, but like I said, it would just be quite tight. Now the inside and the outside contrast, black and white. I do quite like satin black internals because it's pretty good with hiding dust. With white, you do notice it pretty quickly, or I certainly notice it pretty quickly. But it's kind of, yeah, with black, I would honestly say if you're going to use something like this and you're quite looking to go mad with your white stuff, I would probably say to try and decorate with lights, to get some white LEDs in there, and kind of add your colour in there that way, rather than having a white internals as well. Yeah, there's lots of kind of tiny things that you can do to add the colour in there, rather than having to have like a mass block of it. Contrast, you know, might not necessarily be a bad thing. Now I'm going to take a step back, because a lot of my regular subscribers have asked me about my, on my channel it says that I've got a blue Rampage 3 Extreme, and there you can see it's a blue Rampage 3 Extreme, and as far as I'm aware, because I'm not 100% sure anyone would be crazy enough to get a Rampage 3 Extreme and then hit it with a soldering iron to change all the slots, but as far as I'm aware that's the only blue one in the world. Asus don't make them. Asus have no intention on making them, but pretty much I bastardised, and that's not me swearing, that's an actual word in the dictionary. Yeah, I kind of annihilated a selection of motherboards to get those blue slots, and then yeah, pretty much boom, red slots on the Rampage gone, blue slots on the Rampage added. As you can see, I've done the well, it wasn't me personally, I've got a mate that's a demon solderer at a local aerospace company, and yeah, long and short of it is one board got taken apart, and well, a couple of boards got taken apart, and we've built that one. So the reason why I've got this in here is because this is more than likely going to be the board that I'm going to use. I have got Bits Power water cooling blocks for it, nickel with smoked tops, but I'm unsure whether I'm actually going to get proper time this year to get my case built. So what I might do is spend time on the case and then drop straight in on 2011 when it comes out later on in this year, and then base my rig around that. I really don't know yet, because my time can, yeah, I've just got no time whatsoever to be able to do anything like this justice. So I don't know, I might run the blue Rampage on air for a bit with a 990X, and then just have some white bits in there. I may even take my 590 apart and mod the cooler or something like that and do like a modded air build, but we shall see. I'm still umming and ahhing about this. I'm probably going to think about it while I'm away, and then make some choices when I come back. But there are a few options on the table for me at the moment. We shall see. Anyway, there you go, my lovelies. That is a Corsair White 600T. I apologise it's not like a full review like I said, but just before any of the other competitors kind of like start moaning and whinging, Corsair specifically knew that I was going to be going away, and they asked me just to nail a couple of videos out before I went, because they knew it was going to get covered again when I come back. So big love to Corsair for knowing, you know, some of us are busy. But anyway, I have to admit, because I was a little bit ummy about this, I have to admit, now looking at it with the board in there and all my options and stuff, and like all the things running around in my head, I do think I can, well, I do like the case. I like the look of the white. I'm talking about aesthetics. I do like the look of the case in that respect. The window makes a big deal of difference, because that was one of the things I said it needed in the first place, was like a window panel so you can see inside. Yeah, I do quite like it. Definitely like the looks. I think I could build quite a tasty rig in there, or at least aesthetically. We will have to see what I do when I get back. But my kind of like imagination and creative juices are definitely flowing. The only problem I've got is the Rampage heatsinks that I've got are the original ones with the red touches on them. So I'm either going to have to do something funky with that, or think about how else I can cool them. So that's kind of where I'm stuck at the moment. But we shall see what happens. Never know, I may just get may just paint the red bits on the heatsinks. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry for rambling. But anyway, I'm going to stick the side back on just so that we can see it all together before she goes. It does go together really well once you've got it there, but I must admit, I wish they brought this out when they I did the first one, but at least they've made a few changes. They did listen to us. They've given all you air-cooled boys, all you people that are mad enough to want loads of fans in your case, a few more options, especially with that mesh panel. I'm definitely a 100% fan of the window. I do like windows on my rigs. So yeah, 15 minutes worth of me chatting. I best bugger offy. This may be the last video I make before Gadget Show Live. Who knows? Anyway, Tiny Tom Logan out. gone.